Sergeant here. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make the best 3-hour ribs you've ever done in your life. Today, we're going to fire up the pellet smoker. Just follow along with this recipe. It's going to be super good. So let's get started. Now, when it comes to doing ribs, so many options. I went with spare ribs because usually these are going to be the cheapest ribs you can find per pound and very little trimming. We're just going to get a ton of meat on here. So let's get this cut open. So these are some monster ribs, and I am going to just set this down. We are going to pat them dry. There will be some trimming. Anything that flaps, just going to trim that. Some flap right here. So we're probably going to just square these up. Don't have to throw this away. Could be a nice pit snack. You have this flap right here, just so the ribs can lay flat as we're cooking them. All right, that works. As far as the membrane back here, you can just crisscross score it up. That is going to be fine. Now, as far as rubs today, we're going to be using rubs from a company called Paradise Pepper Co. And this is a veteran-owned company, and they are located in Texas. Some very, very good rubs here, packed full of fresh flavor. So the first one we're going to use is going to be their Money Rub. We're going to start on the back side. Going to pat that down. And then we're going to follow it up with their Cherry Bomb. It's going to give a nice color to it. When it's done smoking, these are going to be nice and bright. I just like that red rib color once the ribs are done. All right, now we're going to flip this over. I'm going to start off with the Money Rub. Pat that in, and then follow it up with the Cherry Bomb. And after I pat down the front, just like to do one last dusting. We're going to put a lid on top. All right, so I have my Drip Easy tub here, and the reason why I season my ribs first is that allows me time to fire up the smoker, and then the rubs can start actually sweating into the ribs. We're going to get so much better flavor. So now let's fire up the pellet smoker. All right, you're going to turn it on and hit the power button. I'm going to lift the lid, and then once we actually have a fire in the burn pot is when we are going to close down the lid and let it heat up. All right, there is a fire in the burn pot. And so now we're going to turn this up to about 300 degrees. We'll put the ribs on when they hit 300. All right, we are at 300 degrees. Let's get these ribs on. Now, because we are doing a high temp cook, I do want to get some more smoke flavor, so I'm going to light up. This is a smoker tube full of pellets, and this is going to help add a lot more smoke flavor to these ribs, seeing as we are cooking at a high temp. Now, that was the rocket fire torch, and that thing heats up charcoal and smoke tubes in seconds. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a spritzer bottle, kind of spritz that out. That's still piping hot, and that's going to produce some beautiful smoke throughout the cook. All right, so we're going to tune back in 1 hour and check out these ribs. All right, it's been an hour. Let's check on these ribs. Ooh, nice. Beautiful. I'm going to hit it up with a spritzer bottle. This is just water, and this is just going to help hydrate these ribs. And let's have it continue to bathe in smoke for another hour. All right, we are at the 2-hour mark. We got 1 more hour to go. Let's check on these ribs. Oh, man. We're getting some nice color on there. I see a little bit of pullback. So now let's get these pulled and wrapped up. Got some foil right here. All I'm doing is putting down some butter, like so. Man, talk about beautiful color. Smell is just phenomenal right now. So I'm going to flip these. We're going to put them meat side down. Put some butter on top. And now We are going to wrap these up just like that, and then back on the smoker for another hour.
1 hour later.
All right, let's get these ribs off. All right, this is where you're gonna see a lot of that really nice pullback. You're gonna see the bones, coming out and whatnot, especially right on here. Let's flip this around. Oh, that is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my gosh. Let's get this back on the smoker. And we are almost done. Now we are going to take a light glaze. We're just going to glaze these up a little bit. We'll tune back in about 15 minutes. All right, let's check on these ribs. Man, I may not be rich, but these ribs are money. Look at the color on that. Oh, that is just, woo! Can't wait to sink my teeth into that. Let's get these ribs off. Woo. I don't think it gets better than that. That is beautiful. All right, now for my favorite part, the taste test. So I'm going to come in here. Bon appetit. If you notice, beautiful smoke ring. And man, these rubs were killer. So here we go for a taste test. So shout out to Paradise Pepper Co. These rubs are phenomenal. I will put a link in the description. I'm going to bring these ribs in, share them with the family. These were delicious. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Girl Sergeant out. All right, that's it. Done.